With the launch of version 17.1, oXygen XML introduced support for DITA 1.3. This demonstration will focus on two of the DITA 1.3 features, namely key scopes and branch filtering. The goal of this demonstration is to show how we can use some of the features of DITA 1.3 to reuse content as much as possible in order to produce a brochure for a line of products. In our case, two generic phone models named X1000 and X2000. Each of these phones need an overview topic with a basic layout that contains a title, a product image, and a short description. Translated into DITA, this might be a topic that uses variables for its title, image, and content, allowing us to use it in the brochure for both phones. And this is where the DITA 1.3 key scope concept can be helpful, allowing different key values to be supported at various locations within a map. So in our example, we have a topic called overview.dita that is being reused in two places within a map, and we specify different key values in each of the locations where the topic appears. Key scopes help you to maximize the reuse possibilities for keys in topics, and it is now possible to use one key in a topic that reflects different values depending on the defined scope of its location. First, we need to make sure that the DITA 1.3 support is enabled. We go to the oXygen preferences, then to the DITA page, and switch the DITA processing engine to the built-in DITA OT 2.x since it supports DITA 1.3. Now we create a new DITA map file and open it in the DITA Maps Manager view. Then save it on disk. To change the map's name, we'll use the newly enhanced Edit Properties dialog box. Next, we'll create the overview.dita topic that is meant to be an introductory page for both phones. We use a topic template and store it in our topics folder. Since the content of this topic depends on the particular phone model, we'll define keys that contain the information for each of them. The first piece of information that is suitable to be kept as a key is the phone model. We create a key as the child of the phone overview topic. The key is called model, and its value is X1000. Then we use the key in the topic title by using the revamped Reuse Content dialog box. Notice that we can now insert a key reference using the Choose Key button. Now let's define the key that points to an image of the phone. First, we give the key a name, which is image. Then we select the Target tab and browse for the actual image file. Notice that the key has been created and added to the map. The topic's layout is simple. It will contain an image with a short marketing message next to it, so we'll use a simple table with no title, with one row and two columns, no header, frame, row, or column separator. Now we use the Insert Image action to insert the image into our topic. Again, notice that we can use the Choose Key button to browse the available keys. Next, we create another key that holds a short description of the phone. And insert it using the reuse content action. To align the description with the image, I'm going to adjust the table cell properties. Now we save the topic and then the map. For the other phone model, we want the brochure to have the same structure, so we'll reuse the overview.data topic, but this time using different values for the 3 keys. This is where the DITA 1.3 key scopes can be useful, so now we need to define them. For the X1000 phone overview topic, we set the value of the key scope as X1000 scope. Notice that the key scope value is displayed in the DITA Maps Manager view in brackets. Now, we reference the topic again, but this time for the X2000 phone model. So, we'll set the value for its key scope as X2000 scope. As we have seen, the topic uses keys that expand to specific content, so we need to define new keys for the X2000 phone model. Again, we define the model key, but this time set it to X2000. Then the image key to point to the correct image. And finally, the description key. We save the map. Now you can see that when we open the same file, but in different scopes, the content is expanded properly. Also, when a file is referenced in multiple locations in the same map, there is a visual indicator in the top right-hand corner, and the 2 arrows allow us to navigate between the references. Now let's see how the brochure looks after we transform it into a PDF using a default DITA map to PDF transformation scenario. This was just a small example involving 2 phone models, but imagine how using key scopes can save a lot of time when you have a lot of content to reuse. In the second part of the demonstration, we'll try to expand our brochure with more information by reusing an existing DITA project with basic specifications for the 2 phone models. This project contains a DITA map that holds several topics and makes extensive use of profiling attributes. We see that the topics contain profiled information for both phone models. Notice that product is used as a profiling attribute. Each topic contains information that is common for both phone types, and information tailored specifically for each model. Using DITA 1.2, you can apply only one DITA val filter to a map. This means that in the same publication, you cannot merge the content that results after applying distinct profiling conditions on the same source. However, the DITA 1.3 branch filtering mechanism makes it possible to reuse the content of topics multiple times within the same map, each time using different filters. In our use case, we'll generate a single publication that contains information about the 2 phone models by reusing the contents of individual topics multiple times within a single map, each time using different filtering conditions to produce different, tailored output. We add the phone details map to our brochure map to include the information for the first phone, the X1000. However, we need to filter out the X2000 related information and keep only the X1000 related information. We'll do this by using the branch filtering mechanism, which requires a DITA val file to control the profiling conditions for each branch. We start by creating a new DITA val file from an oXygen template file. Now we'll switch to the author mode. We keep only one filter, and we want to exclude the X2000 model. We save the file as x1000only.ditaval. Now we can apply the filter to obtain the X1000 branch. Invoke the contextual menu on the map reference and append a DITA-val reference as its child. At this point, the first branch will produce an output that contains only the X1000 related information. Similarly, we create the X2000 branch. Add the map reference, create a DITA-val file, filter out the X1000 content, save the DITA-val file, then reference it as a child of the map. Now it's time to see how the two references of the same map are filtered in the final output. We apply a default DITA map to PDF transformation, and notice that the output contains separate sections for both fonts, all extracted from the same source map. Again, this was a simple example, but you can imagine how using the DITA 1.3 branch filtering mechanism can help you tailor your output starting from a single source. And this concludes our demonstration. Thank you for watching.